Welcome to Gutter Trash episode number 203, Hawken by the Truman Brothers. My name is Eric.
And I go by Jason.
Do you now?
I do.
Since when?
Since the late 70s.
Alright.
I go by Jace a lot at Mavericks because for some reason, like a dozen people think that's like
a proper nickname?
like a shortened version of my name.
They're wrong.
Yeah.
Have you ever corrected any of them?
You know, it's my fault because I haven't, but it never bothered me until like 2 or 3 years ago when a very popular Magic card came out called Jace. And ever since then it's kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I opened the door for it by not saying anything for like years to most of them.
Right.
So I can't really now be like, you know.
Yeah, I think you can.
Maybe if I explain the story, like.
You can just say, my name is Jason. People call me Jason.
They're like, but I've been calling you Jace for years, Jace.
And you can say, yeah, I've never liked it.
Yeah. Perhaps I will.
Yeah. I will occasionally refer to you as Jay, which is the proper shortening of Jason, I think.
Now, is it just the letter J, or is this a J-A-Y?
Depends. I've done both ways.
Yeah, okay.
But also never to your face, only when corresponding with other people, and I just don't feel like typing out your full name.
Right, yeah, just like the letter J. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those love letters were signed N.
Yeah.
You know. And it's very romantic.
Yeah,
Mysterious.
if I ever talk to you, and for whatever reason I have to actually say your name,
Right.
I'm going to say Jason, because that is your name, and as far as I know, what you prefer to go by.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a guy named Christopher. More on him later. And he goes by Christopher.
Okay.
And he does not like being called Chris because I think he went by Chris when he was younger, and now he's like trying to be like, you know, I'm not that kid anymore, I'm Christopher.
Right.
And people don't like saying Christopher because there's like those extra 2 syllables.
Right.
And
also, I'm going to say this, I would say the majority of the people with the name Christopher generally go by Chris.
they do go by Chris.
Yeah.
Most of them do.
I would say 99% of them do.
Other ones I've met, I would say so.
Yeah.
But, you know, I respect that.
Whatever their preferences.
Right, it's their name.
Exactly. I did have a friend named Chris who I would occasionally call Christopher, and he would get very upset at me.
Really?
Yeah.
These two should get in a room together.
And then I had another friend who was named Chris, that I would call Christopher, and he would also get upset at me because his name was not Christopher.
Oh.
His legal name was Chris.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you were like, that'd be like if you called me Jasonophat.
Right, yeah.
You know, you're just like adding things that don't need to be there. Like you're trying to be, respectful.
Right.
Yeah. Welcome back to Name Talk.
My name's Eric. There's no shortening or expansion of it.
I'm Jace. The Mind Sculptor. That's his full name. See, I bet he doesn't even like being called Jace. He's like, I'm Jace the Mind Sculptor. Don't call me Jace.
Is it Jace?
Yeah.
The Wheeled Warrior.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I really liked him because I thought his name... Because they always said Jace and the Wheeled Warriors.
Right.
And I thought his name was Jason.
The
Wheeled Warrior, yeah. I was like, ooh, his name is Jason. He's got skunk hair. I love him.
What did you ever feel about the Argonauts?
I kind of like the same thing.
Yeah,
kind of a narcissistic, Respect. How about you? Did you have any big Eric cartoons?
No.
There was no popular big thing.
Nope.
With the guy named Eric.
Mm-mm.
Eric Estrada. He was Punch.
Yeah, but he also spells his name wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing.
Hmm.
Um,
Wasn't one of the characters on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon named Eric?
got me.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Never watched it. Apparently, neither did any of my friends.
Well, I did, but
Right.
we weren't friends then.
No. Yeah, I can't recall anything like that. In junior high, I got Eric the Viking, or Eric the Half-a-Bee.
What's that?
It's a Monty Python skit.
Oh.
Yeah. That's about it.
Well, maybe
No.
we'll-
Not fun.
Did you have a nickname as a kid?
Nope.
Probably don't want to go to it if you did.
Nope.
Yeah.
I did not. 'Cause, my name doesn't.
Yeah, me neither.
There.
They called me skinny because I used to be really skinny.
There.
But
For a short while in high school, a couple of my friends called me Guido.
Guido, that's
Because I wore a fedora for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm a giant, tan, looking kind of guy. Yeah,
Guido, that's cool. I won't call you that.
but I appreciate it. It was also partially due to my love of the character from X Factor.
Oh, strong guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with strong.
Nope.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, we've done so much today.
Oh, we have.
It's so informative.
Yeah.
Just never about the thing we're supposed to be informative about.
Well, I guess we could talk about it.
Why
I mean, technically, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Hawken, the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
By Benjamin Truman and Timothy Truman. Who, up until last week, I had no idea that there was a Benjamin Truman.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I've ever read anything by him, but I feel like I've heard the name before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm used to Tim Truman working either by himself or with Joe R. Lansdale.
Him or, I think, John Ostrander.
Oh,
I
did
think
they?
they've teamed up
Yeah,
quite a few
that sounds
times.
right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
But yeah, those are, I'd say, the typical Tim Truman comics that we've ever seen. Wrote Conan for a while. So
Tim did?
yeah, he was working with somebody, but he wasn't doing the arts.
Wow, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, that was after Kurt Busiek left. Yeah.
That's when Conan found a 6-shooter and was hanging out in the Wild West a lot.
Yep.
Sheriff Conan.
Yeah. So yeah,
You wanna maybe we can just describe the story first before we get into
sure.
liking or disliking.
All right.
You want to or you want to?
I'll get into it.
I was gonna say you read it more recently than me. You probably remember the nuances.
It's a story. It takes place in the Old West. It's a story of vengeance and retribution. A man by the name of Kitchell Hawken was essentially tortured and left for dead in the middle of the desert, and he survived. And now he's gunning for the guys who did it to him. And he also happens to have the soul of every person he has ever slain following him on his adventures.
And he can hear them
And converse with
see
them.
them, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
But no one else can.
All right.
Yeah, I think that was a really neat added element to it.
Sure.
Kind of made it a spookier kind of ghost story kind of thing going on too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I flipped through the first issue and then I saw dead people, so I just automatically assumed it was zombies.
Right.
Just because I had no context for it, and it's what all the kids do these days.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. So I was glad that it was not zombies. But my first thought was that was the gimmick behind Hellblazer for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See, I didn't know that.
yeah. John Constantine, followed by the all the souls of the people who have not died by his hand, but died due to his fuck ups and machinations.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, similar.
Yeah.
Similar. Yeah.
also a little bit of Rescue Me there too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just kind of?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was entertaining. I don't know that I'd want to read another one.
You mean like if another series?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think when it started out, I think it was supposed to be ongoing. Because, I mean, it doesn't say on any of the covers. Like, it's not confusing like the Punisher miniseries, but I mean, sometimes they actually say 1 of 6 or something.
Right.
But,
I don't think IDW does that.
oh, they don't? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it sold very well.
I couldn't imagine it would.
Because first of all, it's black and white.
Right. It's a western.
It's a western.
It's by a creator who, hit his peak probably 20 years ago.
At least in
In
popularity.
popularity, yeah. And honestly, I had never heard of it until you picked it.
Okay. Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we ordered, because it's 6 issues, and I think we ordered like 5 number 1s, and 5 number 2s, but then by the time we ordered number 3, we realized we'd only sold 1 number 1.
Right.
So we cut our order down to like 2
Right.
from there on out, and we finally did get a guy that like kind of picked up on it, and he bought all, 1 of each. So at least I think all we have is a number 1 and a number 2, but it did not. Yeah, it was not a popular sell. But yeah, that doesn't mean anything here or there.
That's true. But yeah, it was a solid story. It was certainly drawn pretty well in most places.
Yeah. Oh, in most places,
Towards the last couple of issues, it looked rushed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just like the first couple of issues are definitely very clean and pristine.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it seemed like it was just sort of like, hurry up and let's get to the end kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah, they had shit to do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like, I agree, it's not something like you read the story and you're like, oh my god, what an amazing thing. But,
Right.
but I mean, I swear, like I was reading the 4th issue and I can remember exactly where I was sitting, and I was like, reading it, and I realized I was reading the 4th of the 6 issues, and I was really disappointed that I was already on number 4. Like I was like, man, I wish there was like 8 more of these.
I did not feel that way.
Really?
Yeah, I felt actually that this dragged on a little too long.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it should have been like a 3 or 4 issue thing.
Yeah, 4 issues at most. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I really dug it. I mean, like, at least they had enough, like, kind of characters wandering in and out of the story that it wasn't just like him and like, one little gang and like
Right.
they're just battling for 6 issues. It was like there's like 3 or 4 different elements, all sort of,
Right.
double crossing each other and like all trying to get their revenge on Kitchell or and vice versa.
Right. I just, I don't know, I felt like it was a little repetitive after a while. Just, Hawken would show up in a town, kill a bunch of people.
Spoiler!
You'd torture someone to get some information and then move on to the next town.
Right.
It was a little video game-ish in that manner. So I think it could have been trimmed down a little bit.
I gotcha.
There was one part that I felt was almost entirely unnecessary. I don't know how I feel about talking about it
Yeah,
yet.
so go ahead and spoil it.
Okay.
I was going to read this. You can't even find it. This was printed to order, probably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I think it was in the 3rd issue, maybe the 4th.
Is it the little glass tubes with the creatures?
Yes.
I figured that's what you were going to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hawken gets sent on this sort of errand to find a box, like in a train wreck. And yeah, he finds this box that he's supposed to look for, and he opens it, and there's little mer creatures inside of it.
Yeah, like a female and a male.
Yeah. And it's bizarre. And like when I got to that page, I was like, well, the story just took a turn.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay, let's see where this is going.
Right.
And it didn't go anywhere.
No. Like, yeah, I kept expecting them to kind of play a bigger part. And they did sort of, like, there was a scene where they, like, affected the story later.
Right.
But it could have been done with any non-sci-fi-ish kind of element.
Yep.
And it's like they really, they, like, threw in this thing. What I was thinking, though, because, like you said, you described them as little nerd people.
Right.
I was wondering if, because a lot of this feels like a love letter to comics, and particularly to the comics they grew up reading.
Right.
Like even on the very last page, they say dedicated to Joe Kubert and like
right.
two other, like Jordy Bernay or somebody.
I think it's John Severin, Joe Kubert, and Jean Girard.
Oh yeah,
Mobius.
but I was wondering if
Because they all died in the past year.
right. But I thought maybe like those were supposed to be sea monkeys from old comics. Like it was like because they kind of look like a grotesque version of the sea monkeys.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't know if I don't know. I mean, but yeah, it was, that was the only part I was like, oh, that's weird that they would bother putting that in there.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think it would be different if, like, if that did mark like a major turn in tone for the book.
Right.
But it didn't. Like it just sort of it was there and it never really paid off.
The only thing maybe is like because Kitchell says, I thought I'd seen everything
Right.
when he sees this, and like he is an old man, and like maybe like that was like some sort of revelation for him, but
Right.
but it didn't seem like that was it's not like he mentioned it later like wow I'm gonna start and turn over a new leaf
Right.
because of those fucking sea monkeys. He didn't say anything like that. But yeah, that was strange. Maybe what if they would have done like Pulp Fiction style where they just wouldn't have shown what was in the box? Do you think that would have worked?
That probably would have worked better. Yeah. Because the basically the only real payoff to them comes at the very end, and I think that entire ending could have been done the same way without that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't.
We're not purposely being vague. It's just like we don't want to spoil exactly what those sea monkeys did.
Right. Yeah.
But it could have been a dog or a horsefly.
Yeah. Right.
It could have been anything.
Yep.
It didn't have to be sci-fi sea monkeys.
Because yeah, I mean, because even the ghost part is acceptable because it could just be he's crazy,
Yeah.
or he's just that's his guilt, and then,
Right. Exactly.
it doesn't have to actually be a supernatural thing, especially since they never interact with anything other than him.
Yeah.
So
Kitchell just says, "I see dead people."
yeah.
And do you think he goes by Kitschy when he was a kid?
Probably not.
He gets pissed off when people call him Kitsch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I think you were maybe saying something.
Oh,
Thought of that
I
dumb
can't
joke.
remember. I cannot remember.
Sea monkeys? Something about sea monkeys. The part where he sells grit to earn enough money to buy a submarine. That was really good.
When he turned into Charles Atlas.
Yeah. And kick sand in that bully's face. Good for you, Kitschy.
And then that bully started following him.
And that's not a spoiler, the ghost thing, because that's like 4 panels into the book,
yeah,
so
yeah.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's a solid, fun story. It's the fun little revenge
Yeah.
tale. It doesn't have a definitive ending though, so they're clearly planning on having more.
I would like to. I would definitely pick up another one.
Yeah.
And like it's weird because I've loved Tim Truman's art since I was, well, air quotes, a kid. I mean, I was probably like 13
Right.
when I started reading those Jonah Hex books that he did in the
Yeah.
'90s, and those were awesome. Like I loved them because they were like kind of gritty, and like just they had like this kind of almost a horror feel to them. Because I
Right.
mean, there was always something fucked up and gross going on.
Johar Lansdale.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah. So I totally loved his art, but I don't think I would have bought this if it hadn't been in black and white because the black and white really makes his art pop and like you can see everything so much clearer.
I agree. I have issues with the art in some places in this book, and I think it's actually mostly due to production. Because there are some, like most of it is gorgeous, and it's like so detailed and clean and just it's and then there's like gray tones highlighting certain aspects of it,
Right.
and it looks nice, but then like it's hard to see in this one, so it may not even be here, but like in definite later issues, I'm not going to talk about that one yet because I do have a point about that.
Yeah.
You're flipping in the first issue, but like in the last issue, like some of the blacks, like they're not black.
Oh yeah.
They're like it's almost like they're like I would compare it to when I used to draw with I used to have like this type of pen that I loved to use whenever I would draw. But then like after like 2 months, like the paper and the pen would both start turning yellow.
Oh, weird.
And microns are the worst. So a lot of this looks like it was inked with like microns, and then they forgot to scan it in immediately. And then they
I
couldn't.
lost something.
Yeah, like it really does look like that some places.
Let's see, I didn't notice that. I did notice something about this one. I won't say yet in case it's the same thing that.
I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about that then.
Okay.
So the first issue, like, because I read the first issue that last Sunday when you gave it to me, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, all right, I'm into this book, and it partially has to do with the production on the book.
Yeah.
The cover is like a nice. It's got like a. It's not a cardstock cover, which I guess these aren't either, but IDW, that's usually what I consider them.
Right.
But
It's kind of pulpy feeling.
it's kind of pulpy feeling. The inside and the covers are all they're matte paper, and so it looks nice. It prints nice. Like the grays in this are gorgeous. The blacks are gorgeous. It just feels good.
Right.
And then the rest of the series is published on glossy paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the matte paper better.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm gonna bet that because the trade paperback comes out in like a month, I bet it's all gonna be
Oh
nice
yeah,
and
I'm
glossy.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Why would they do only the first issue like that?
Maybe
Is it a cost thing?
you would think like this would be cheaper actually. You know?
You would, but sometimes it's not.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, first issue, like, yeah, I really wish that the rest of the series had been printed the same way.
Well, I'm wondering too because there's something else different about the first issue, or at least something I noticed in the first one that I didn't notice in the other ones. Maybe that was a reason that they tweaked how they did it, but I can't think of what panel it's in, and we don't have a real bright overhead light here.
Right.
But I saw some pencil lines in the first issue because like everything is like you said, gray tones,
Right.
and I think when they scanned it, I mean, and I don't mean like some details on the guy's wrinkles on his face,
like underdrawing.
Yeah, yeah.
I did notice it in some of the other issues.
Oh, okay.
Especially towards the end, like I said, it looks like it was like the art was rushed in places.
Right.
So yeah, you can definitely tell that there are places where the pencils weren't erased fully, or just got rid of.
I kind of liked that, though. I mean, like, it wasn't. It didn't take me out of anything. It just kind of like made me love the art a little bit more. But yeah, the art is. I'd say it's. I think it's by far my favorite Tim Truman art. But I think it is mostly just because it's black and white and it just looks so much better.
This is a story I think that definitely was better off in black and white anyway.
Right.
The color kind of would have ruined it, especially when mer people show up.
Right.
Because I imagine them that they're green.
And like really bright pink.
Right. Yeah.
Green fishy tails and bright pink skin.
Right. And yeah, this is like if this book couldn't be in black and white, it should definitely have been in sepia tone.
Yeah. Exactly.
It is a pulp western. Yeah.
With some horror.
Yeah.
A little horror.
Minor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was solid. I enjoyed it.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna, having said all that, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sell it
Right.
because I decided to sell like 80% of my comics.
Right.
So that's not like that's not a slide on it at all. Like,
Right.
I think it's definitely worth reading, but and it was fun. Like, it's not like essential Alan Moore style graphic novel, influential literature, but yeah, it was really fun.
I don't think anything we've ever read is.
No.
And there's been one or two.
Incredible Change Bonds?
Yeah. I was including that in the one or two. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll buy the next series if they do another one.
Right.
So let's hope for that.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. Take a break.
Sweet. Shining white. And if an innocent minute lives for the light, the time is right, diviner light, to hold back the night inside. A single glimpse of purity in the flickering light, shine, sees the right. Hey, welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Hello!
We are here.
We are sort of not in the way that we usually are.
No?
We're missing the vital components to the usual Get a Trash record.
Chauncey?
Chauncey's still over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's working.
He's still working.
Working, isn't he?
It's October, but he's still doing his job because for some reason it got really warm today.
Yeah. Did get that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm missing my computer.
Mhm.
We're recording off my laptop right now, which is a fine substitute, but I miss the big old tower van here.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel like, you know, like you're vulnerable?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like there's a vital part of my life that is just missing right now.
Aw.
That is my trusty PC. It's dying. With a small possibility that it can be fixed, but
I hope so. Hope it comes back.
it's currently at the PC hospital, so.
Oh, wow. I didn't know there was one.
Oh, yeah. So let's just hope that the laptop holds out until I can get that back.
It seems pretty solid.
It's doing alright. It's doing fine.
And it's a Mac. Nothing ever goes wrong with a Mac.
Funny.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What you been up to this week?
Well, I do have a little bit of a story. As I think I mentioned, maybe, I don't know, maybe I just mentioned to you, I don't know if it was on here,
I can't remember.
but there's a comic book artist named Franklin Christopher Ware. He goes by Chris Ware. He doesn't go by Frankie.
No, not Christopher.
No, Christopher. He just goes by Chris Ware. That is weird. You think he would go by Christopher? Anybody?
Yeah.
Huh.
No.
But I'm a fan, and a few months ago, a friend of mine named Jeff, who lives in Columbus, told me, because he works at CCAD, and he said, "Hey, the school is going to have Chris Ware come, and he's going to do a little talk, and we're going to have some of his artwork hanging up, and he'll talk about it, and then for like a week it'll hang up, so you should definitely come up." And I completely forgot about it until the day that Chris Ware was going to be there. Our friend Pat called me and said, "Hey, you coming up tonight? Chris Ware's going to talk tonight." And I was like, "Oh shit, I totally forgot. No, I can't." And then I said, "But I'll definitely make it up for the exhibit because holy shit, do I want to look at his original art." And like I've actually met him, and I've read all of his comics, but I've never seen a piece of his original art in person. I've seen some really nice scans online, but no originals. So I was super stoked. And I, like, when we were doing that thing with the Art Institute, I met a guy named Christopher who also loves Chris Ware. And I told him about it. He hadn't heard. And I said, "Hey, why don't we ride up there together and check out his art?" And so the day before, like it was running through the 12th. It was like the 5th through the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 12th was Friday. So on Thursday, the 11th, we decided to drive up there and take a look. And so we did that. And when we got to Columbus, which, you know, I mean, it's over an hour drive, you know.
Roughly, yeah.
It's not like a skip down the road, but it's
No,
not
right.
terribly far. But when we got
What
there,
I drive every day down south.
yeah,
Yeah.
do your work. But you get paid to do that, and you have to take a day off work to do that.
That's true.
You
You didn't have to work that day.
I do the volunteer work,
You do volunteer work.
so I did have to
You
take
didn't
off.
get paid
Right,
to be there that day.
it's true.
Even if you were there. Right.
But so anyway, we drove up there, and we went to the museum. And we walk in, and there's like no information desk or anything there. It's just like office buildings on the bottom floor, and then like a hallway to an exhibit. And so we like looked around, and then we're like, well, let's just go through this exhibit. Maybe it's through here. And so we walk through, and there's like all this like very bizarre sculpture. Like there's this giant like Little Red Riding Hood cloak like just the cloak, and it's like on this scaffolder, and around the corner is like this giant like face, just this creepy man face. And we're like, oh, that's weird. And around another corner was my favorite piece was like these three faceless businessmen. Like all you could tell was that they had neckties on, and they were like dancing in a very symmetrical, like very like orchestrated, pose, and they were all clinking coffee cups together in the center, and it was just weird. And I was like, oh, this is weird. And so we got through that exhibit, and we're like, it's not in here anywhere. And so we looked around, and there was a sign up that said, Chris Ware exhibit through the 12th here, yay! And we were like, well, where is it at? And so the only living person we could find was this lady in the admissions office. And we went in there, and we were like, hey, sorry to bug you, but we can't find the Chris Ware exhibit. And she was like, oh, it's right through that door in there. And we're like, oh, sweet. And like she pointed the way. And we walk in there, and then like we walk over to this door that she points at around the corner, and there's this like these two like this like sawhorse in front of it that says exhibit closed for installation. And we're like, what? And so Christopher's like, well, let's just go on it anyway. And we like went around it, and when you walk in, and like you walk through this little portal that's into this, like I don't know, a room like 3 times the size of the office room, and you look on the wall, and it's like all these empty spaces. I mean, that's the only way I can describe it, because you could tell that very recently there had been tons of stuff hanging there, because like there's like dust outlines and like
right.
Like little sticky spots,
Right.
And then like I look over at the wall, and you can see, like whenever a business goes out of business, but and they take down their sign, but you can still sort of make out the letters that were on the wall.
Uh-huh.
It was like that. I mean, you could read you could read like every like second letter.
Right.
It said like Chris Ware, Jimmy Corrigan exhibit, but it's all like removed and like like scratched, but you could make out most of those letters, and I was like, what? So we went back to the admissions lady, and we were like, yeah, it's empty. And she was like, what? And she was like, oh, maybe they moved it to the other gallery. We have one bigger gallery upstairs. And we were like, oh, duh, yeah, awesome. And so she got in the elevator with us and like led us up to the other gallery. And she's like, yeah, that's probably what happens. Sometimes like if something's really popular, if they have more artwork than they think, they put it in this exhibit, and it's it's a bigger gallery. And the elevator doors open, and we all walk out, and like she just like stops, and like it's this big empty room, and she looks back at us. She goes, that's all I got. that's seriously what she said. She's like, well, that's all I got. And so me and Christopher just kind of looked at each other and walked down the stairs and walked outside and just stood there in silence for a few seconds, and we were just stunned with disappointment.
Wow.
Because I guess it ended like a day and a half before it was scheduled to.
That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah. It really was.
That sucks.
And so, when I got home, I did something I hardly ever do. I'm not much of a complainer.
Right.
I'm a Rolling Stone, buddy. But I went to their website, and I was like, well, I looked at their website like Wednesday to get directions.
Right.
But I was like, oh shit, I didn't think to look at their website Thursday. Maybe it says like, oh, we had to, there was a scheduling thing, and we had to, sorry,
Right.
But I looked at their website, and it still was saying like, it's through the 12th, like on the main page. And there was a phone number at the bottom, like a contact thing. So I called, and I expressed my frustration, which is not something I usually do. I refrain from the expletives.
Well, that's good.
But I did mention, like, the time we spent and the miles we drove, and like
Right.
how excited we both were, and like how in the future maybe it would be a good idea to let people know on their website, at least that, if they have to change it at the last minute.
Right. Well, did they give you an explanation? What happened?
That was on their voicemail.
Oh, okay.
So no.
So you haven't actually talked to anyone.
No, but I did email my friend who works at CCAD, and I told him, I was like, hey, that was kind of a bummer. And he was like, well, that's weird. And he's like, I have no idea why that, why they would have taken it down, but he's not really in charge of
Right.
the hanging stuff. So, but Pat, I told him too,
Yeah.
and he said he would do a little investigating. So
Yeah, they got back to you.
it hasn't got back to
I bet he never does. Because he's Pat.
Yeah, but
It took him. It took me like 5 times reminding him to do the 7-second greeting that he left us for the 200th episode of Gun Trash.
Right. Well, he's got a lot on his plate.
He's got nothing.
I'm still betting on Pat. He's going to find out. He's going to get the skinny.
Maybe Chris Ware just said, "Fuck this! I'm taking this all home."
Yeah, he's like, I can sell some of this on eBay. Buy some Halloween candy. But I mean, it wasn't a complete loss though, because I'd never been to the Laughing Ogre, and we were like, well, we're here. You want to like look around Columbus? And he'd never been there either, so we just kind of drove around. And we went to the Laughing Ogre, which I've heard of for years, and it was a cool shop. I mean, collectively we only spent $3 there, so we didn't exactly. I know we didn't go there prepared to buy stuff.
Right.
We just thought we were looking at free artwork.
Right.
At least the exhibit was free.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, especially like if you had to pay, well, even before you entered the
Right,
building.
yeah.
Oh man, I would have been fucking furious.
Oh, that would have been bad.
I'd have been fucking furious if I'd have been in your situation. And I probably would have let someone know.
I mean, seriously, like, you don't know how excited I was. I was like,
Oh, I can imagine.
I was telling everybody all week, like, I like couldn't even speak it straight, and then it happened to coincide with his new book, Building Stories, came out this week,
Right.
and I looked at that the night before we left because it came out Wednesday, and like,
Right.
I had it in my hands, and like, Thursday morning, I was like, I was still in this roller coaster ride of looking at that all night, and I was like, oh man, yeah. And like thinking about it now, I'm getting a little pissed off again.
That's bullshit. Man, I'm sorry.
It's alright. One of these days I'll see.
Yeah.
And I figured too, I was like, maybe it's a traveling thing, so I'm gonna try to like I haven't looked yet because I've just the wind is in my sails. But I'm gonna see if it maybe is in Cincinnati or Indianapolis or somewhere. Maybe it's going to different museums or something.
Right. Probably not.
He probably took it home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I still had a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I didn't go by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been even more crushing.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have went to the Laughing Ogre. I would have just
driven home.
Or into a river.
Right.
Oh. But yeah, that's that's pretty much all I've done this week.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it.
How about you? Anything fun? I'm excited.
Yeah, I went to. I've gotten up to some stupid mischief.
What?
Yeah.
You?
And been way more proud of it than any person should ever have the right to be.
Alright.
It all started when I was at work, and I went down to the snack machines, which is on the ground floor of the building I work in, and our office is on the top floor. And usually, I'll grab a snack and then I'll want to go outside and just sit outside for a while, since it's usually incredibly uncomfortable in my office, and I like to get a little bit of fresh air every now and then.
Right.
So I was heading down to the stairwell that leads outdoors after I grabbed my snack, and I was walking down this hall, and there's empty offices and throughout the entire building. And there was this one that had a glass door, and you could see into it, and I could see that it was completely empty. And I don't know what compelled me at all, but I tried the doorknob, and the door opened. And I was like, oh, I'm going to walk in, because who the hell's going to stop me? And so I walked in, and there was 2 sub-offices within the office, and the front room was a reception area of sorts. There was a couch and some tables in there. So I sat down on the couch and stretched out and ate my snack.
Nice.
And just really enjoyed myself in there for a couple minutes, and then
What does that mean?
I just enjoyed being alone
Okay.
and having a snack
I
and
gotcha.
not being bothered by anyone and sitting on a couch, a comfy couch.
That sounds nice.
And yeah, it was pretty nice. And then I decided to just fuck with things in the office. And I moved all the furniture around. And then I wound up playing with the blinds and then turning the light on in one of the offices and closing the door. And then I took the painting that was on the wall and I moved it. And then I left.
That's awesome. You didn't steal the band.
No, I just moved it from the wall down to another place. Yeah, I'm not damaging anything. I'm not stealing anything. I'm just being impish.
Yeah.
And I've since done it like 4 days in a row.
That's awesome.
And we'll probably continue to do so until the door is locked.
So someday, do you think someone comes in there like once a day, or just like hardly ever at all?
No, never at all. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an empty office.
Okay.
There is other than the furniture, there is nothing in there. There is no desk. There are no phones. There is nothing.
I think maybe like someone was coming in once in the morning and going, "Damn, we have office imps."
Nope.
So
Unless someone is coming in there to nap on the couch,
yeah,
there is nothing else to be done in that office.
it's awesome.
And it's a completely dumb thing. And I'm so proud of myself for doing it.
You know, sometimes those are the best kinds of fun.
Yeah.
You know, dumb fun.
Yeah.
And isn't there something great about being somewhere when you're not supposed to be?
Oh yeah.
And not it's not some place that people aren't supposed to be, but it's a time when you're not supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Or a situation.
Oh yeah, it's all of that.
Something
Yeah.
great about that. Like I remember when I was in high school, one of my friends worked at a Little Caesars, and she had a key to it, and we would all just hang out there
Oh,
at night. You know, just like we weren't like drinking or having sex or smoking drugs. We were just hanging out,
oh yeah.
eating. You know.
When I worked at the movie theater, we would after that close, we would clean up everything, and then sometimes we would just hang out in the lobby until 3 in the morning.
Right.
And even because on Thursday nights, they would have to preview all the movies coming out to make sure that they all worked.
Oh, right.
So we would have to watch the movies occasionally to make sure that they were good. And so we would do that and stay there till like 5 in the morning watching movies, or even there were a couple times like like on a school holiday or whatever.
Right.
Like the theater would be closed because it was like in the middle of the school year, so they generally they open at like 4.
Yeah, right.
During the week. But we would like occasionally I would say, hey, I don't have to. I'm not going to school. This Monday I can come in and do something. In the morning. And so, the manager would leave me and one other guy a key, and say, "Okay, paint this room."
Nice.
So we would be there at 10 in the morning, and there would be no one else there, and
There's something nice about that.
it's awesome. Yeah.
It's like I love my shift where occasionally I'll do paperwork at Mavericks after we close,
Right.
and I don't even turn the lights on.
Oh yeah.
I leave the one light that's we always leave on at night, so
Right.
we can cops driving by could tell if there's burglars in there.
Right.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean it's just nice. It's
Yeah.
being in a public spot, not during public hours.
Yeah.
Great.
When I worked at the ad agency, my department was in the basement. And there was only 4 of us in there. We would never turn the lights on. We all had individual lights in our cubicles, and so we would use that. But the actual overhead lights for the office, that floor, we would just always leave on.
That sounds awesome.
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, because we actually had a circuit blow at Mavericks, or it didn't blow because it actually came back on by itself 2 days later. But for a day and a half, yesterday, one strip of our lights didn't work, and it just set this you could still see everything. It was just dim, and it had this nice kind of more like warm feeling in the
Yeah.
store because we have those like crappy fluorescent office style
Yeah,
lights.
yeah.
But yeah, I actually like it a lot.
Oh yeah, lights off are nice.
Yeah.
I like a good dim lighting.
Hmm.
Sometimes in my office, like if like my boss doesn't come in or whatever, we'll never turn the lights on his side of the office. And it's a nice atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
Or if we get there like super early, we just won't turn the lights on and just work by the glow of the computer screen.
Just like the pioneers did.
Exactly. Yeah. Went to go see a movie Saturday. Went to see Looper,
Yeah.
the JGL Bruce Willis movie.
Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought I would absolutely love it, and I liked it.
Right.
Like it wasn't as amazing as I think it had been made out to be. But it's solid. It's really good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I will say this. I actually heard this on another review for that movie. I 100% agree with it. This is a movie that involves time travel and people with superpowers, and it takes place in the future, and there's even flying cars in it. You're asking us to suspend all of our disbelief that these things can happen. But yet you can't trust us to think that Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis might be the same person.
Why can't they trust you?
Because they put prosthetics on Joseph
Oh.
Gordon-Levitt's face to make him look more like Bruce Willis.
Right. Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Was it subtle though?
No, it's ridiculous.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, like he's got that weird broken nose thing that Bruce Willis has, and like they patted out his chin and his jawline, and it's dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, that's too bad. Was it digitally, you think, or they actually?
No, it's actual prosthetics.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't even notice from the trailer.
Oh yeah. It is. Yeah, you could have left him alone. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, River Phoenix doesn't look a goddamn thing like Harrison Ford. Yet we could all buy that was Indiana Jones at age 14.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like that guy in the latest Indiana Jones didn't look anything like Indiana Jones, but I was like,
Exactly.
that's probably him.
Yeah.
He looked like that 90-year-old version of him. No, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a fine movie.
I'm looking forward to it.
And then when that movie was over, I snuck into another theater and watched an entirely different movie.
And he moved the paintings around on the wall in there.
If I could have, I would have.
Man, yeah. He was heading down that sort of terrible criminal path.
To be honest, this was entirely premeditated. I was going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decided, why the fuck not? And then it made matters even easier when both of the movies I planned on seeing were right next to each other. And they both happened to, play at the exact same times. So it was super easy to do. I did run into a slight snag.
Oh.
Stupid ushers. They got a job to do. And instead they sat outside the theater and just talked about retarded bullshit for an hour. It wasn't an hour, but it felt like it. It was about 15 minutes.
Right.
And I worked at a movie theater. I was a supervisor. We had a saying. You got time to lean, you got time to clean.
I've heard that saying.
Yeah.
You guys must have.
We invented it.
You got that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have been cleaning the fucking theaters and getting back to, jerking off in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerking each other off. Because, possibly. Probably like monkeys would jerk each other off, probably.
Right.
That's what I'd
More of an animal.
Yeah. And smear poo all over each other.
Right.
Because that's how dumb they were.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But then, I did finally get into the theater. Saw 7 Psychopaths. The Colin Farrell, Sam Rockwell, Christopher Walken, Woody Harrelson movie.
Not based on the book we read.
Not based on the comic that was in an episode of Gutter Trash.
I thought it was, but yeah.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw that movie was coming out, that's what I thought it would
Well,
be.
yeah, I mean, that's a pretty odd
Title.
coupling of words. Yeah.
Nope, not related whatsoever. But, it's written and directed by a guy who wrote a movie called In Bruges, which I really enjoyed. So I was excited to see it. The trailer looked good. The movie started, and the plot of the movie is the plot of a movie that I would absolutely hate. Everything in the movie actually was something that really would have made me hate that movie. Yeah, I fucking loved it.
That's cool. Better than Looper?
Hmm?
Better than Looper.
Better than Looper.
Yeah.
Two completely different types of movies. But,
Right.
yes, I enjoyed it more than I did Looper.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll probably see that one too.
Yeah. And I don't really want to talk about the plot of that one, because it kind of... It's all over the place, and also you probably are better off going in as clean as possible on it.
Right.
But I do recommend it.
Is it fun? Like a funny?
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. I like a lot of the fellas in there. So
Yeah. Check that was good. And then when my criminal ways were done, I came home.
You didn't knock over a liquor store on the way back or anything?
Oh, I did do that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just typical Saturday.
Right. Yeah, you gotta prepare for John night.
Right, yeah.
Did you see, like you mentioned Bruce Willis, but the Cooper, I did see a trailer for Die Hard 5 today.
I have not watched that. I don't watch trailers unless I'm in a movie theater.
Looks cool.
It's all about the trailers. Something I can't remember.
Yeah.
One I did remember after you left, because I was trying to tell you of all the movies that I saw trailers for. The one called Hitchcock. It is a biopic about him trying to get Psycho made.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Anybody in that?
Anthony Hopkins, Helen Mirren, and Scarlett Johansson.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I will watch that movie.
Yeah.
That's cool. Was it black and white?
Nope.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's cool.
Just been playing with comics for the past couple days, and getting dust all over my hands, and watching Cheers.
Well, that sounds pretty nice,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, comics and Cheers.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go through my comics and sort them and sell them. Like watching you get rid of all those is like, it's invigorating because I want to downsize mine.
I could probably do well to get rid of a lot more, but couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. Yeah. It does kind of reinvigorate me to want to organize more.
Right.
Like, so now I'm looking into trying to get some like, drawer boxes and like setting up the wall behind you there, like with drawer boxes.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And expensive.
Yeah, they are. You can get, I think, a set of 5 for like $50. Which isn't too bad, I guess. Long box costs $7.
Right.
Yeah. But, it's something that'll be slow, but definitely, like, I've been finding stuff and like, oh yeah, I know where like a big chunk of this is, and
Right.
I should move this over with those, and
That's what I did back in, I think it was like January. I sorted my whole collection. It was fun. Like once it was done, like I still like. Unfortunately, since then I've got like a couple of stacks that I haven't filed away. But I've tried, like, for a while I was being really good.
Right.
But in, like, the last couple months I've got a few stacks. I'm like, oh, I'll just get to that later.
Well, for me, like, my problem is that, like, there's very little organization as is. So, like, I've got piles of stuff everywhere, and I'm like, okay, well, like, in this one pile I've got, like, the Manhunter series, and in this other pile I've got, like, another chunk of the Manhunter series. I'm going to remember to put those together.
Right.
But then here I've also got my 2-read pile, along with my 4 other 2-read piles.
Right.
of all the new stuff that I've gotten in like the past 6 months.
How do we get that much stuff in our to-read piles?
Because we only read books for gutter trash.
Pretty much. I read a book this week called The Voyeurs by Gabriel Bell that I thought was awesome, but I think you would probably hate it. So and I just don't have the strength to defend on this one. I mean, I'm not saying like I couldn't say what I like about it,
Right.
but I mean, I just feel like it's not a book that would be meant for you. Yeah, and I loved it. So I don't want to do an episode on that one, but yeah, that was really good. So I recommend that if you're looking for a good auto-bio book.
There you go.
It's much better than the one I do.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, what isn't?
I know, right? I know. Even Garfield minus Garfield and John would be better than what I do.
I haven't read anything other than Hawken
This whole week?
this whole week. Yes.
Huh.
Alright. You got a movie for us to watch next time?
I've got a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on Netflix or not because I tried to look and it won't show me.
Oh, okay.
It goes to this because I always search if it's a movie that I've never really it's not like something that you're supposed to well maybe they don't have it and I tried to go to their site and it won't let me without signing on for some sort of trial where usually it used to let me when I just go to the site. But anyway, I mean it was I guess it was well received, so I'm thinking they'll have it. It's called How I Ended This Summer.
Never heard of it.
It came out last year, so hopefully we can watch it if Netflix has it.
Alright.
And if not, we'll just watch the maid.
Okay. Oh, I'm really hoping Netflix doesn't have it.
You're not going to veto it, though,
No, I'm not going to veto it.
Okay.
But we will definitely check to see that is there, and that will be the movie we will watch if it is.
And if not, the raid?
The Raid sounds good as an alternative.
Sweet.
The Raid sounds good as an alternative to everything. Though, I guess, spoiler, if we weren't watching The Raid, I love that movie.
I know you do. I know you do. And I want to see something that is that awesome.
Alright. Sounds good then.
Cool.
How I Ended the Summer.
This summer, yeah.
This summer. Yeah. Alright then. Sounds like it'd be a movie I would hate.
It's about. Would you want to give you the plot?
Yeah.
It's about two Russian meteorologists who get trapped in some sort of Arctic place for an entire summer, and just those two by themselves.
Alright. Well, sounds better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So, alright then. There then. Well, we'll see you next week then.
Sweet.
Unless you got anything else?
No, I'm gonna go do my thing.
Okay. I'm going to go do my thing.
Sweet.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.